We can all agree, gone are the days of relying solely on an inside presence or a dominant big man to survive in the NBA. Whether you're a 6-foot guard like Damian Lillard or a 7-footer like Joel Embiid, skill knows no bounds. The most significant reason for this lies in shooting the ball, a skill that has changed the way the game is played. While the debate over basketball's GOATs may persist, one undeniable aspect is the evolution of lethal shooters. Only a handful of players can compare to number 10 on our list, Steve Kerr. He holds the record for the highest three-point percentage in NBA history. But Steve's greatness isn't just limited to percentages. He also showed us what clutch is on numerous occasions. Perhaps the most memorable was when he hit a game-winning shot in the '97 NBA Finals, leading the Chicago Bulls to their 5th championship. Steve's ability to perform under pressure, especially in key playoff moments, is why he stands with the greats.
But I just said, you know what, just fire away. And that's the best advice anybody ever gave me was, don't think, shoot. You know, as soon as you start thinking, that's when you miss. And I just made up my mind, if I got the ball, I was gonna shoot.
Moving on to number 9 is another player who changed the game, Dirk Nowitzki. Standing at 7 feet, Dirk revolutionized the power forward position by pulling up from beyond the arc with no hesitation. In an era focused on post play, Dirk's ability to stretch the floor past the three-point line was unheard of at the time. Because of his signature stroke and footwork, you can understand why many of today's players, like KD and Kristaps Porzingis, have tried to mirror his game, and they love to shoot from deep.
Your main guy be a stretch four guy.
No.
Because Dirk Nowitzki is the only main guy that was a stretch four guy that led his team to a championship.
Speaking of KD, who's sitting at our number 8, shoots a remarkable 38.1% from long range. But his height and the way he handles the ball make him virtually unstoppable. In fact, opponents tremble at the mere thought of KD in the open floor, racing down the court and effortlessly draining one shot after the other over anyone in his path. His ability to shoot over defenders is crazy. It's clear to see why they call him Easy Money Sniper.
Tosses it away. Durant walks the tightrope. KD back in. Durant, drive. Oh, busting ankles, Kevin Durant! John Collins sits down on the play.
Stop.
Moving on to the most creative and unselfish shooters of all time is number 7, Steve Nash. His only flaw was that he didn't shoot enough. Despite his career three-point shooting percentage of 42.8%, he never attempted as many threes as he should have. His true potential as a shooter was hindered by his desire to create opportunities for others. However, the version of Nash that we did witness was absolutely phenomenal.
There's a lot of qualities about Steve. I think first of all, his attention to detail, the amount of time and work he put into his craft. Not just the shooting and ball handling, but taking care of his body, eating correctly.
Number 6 on our list may not be the first name that comes to mind when talking about the best scorers. But during the 2014-2015 season, the way Kyle Korver was shooting the ball can only be described as historic. He had a true shooting percentage of 69.9 and a three-point percentage of 49.2. putting his prowess as a threat from deep on full display. Even during the later years of Kyle's career, he remained an impressive marksman. His consistency and longevity was something to see.
The interesting thing is that's where the league has really gone to. That's the problem, because this is what you got to cover.
Extra pass, and one of the best in the history of the league.
Coming in at number 5 is regarded by many as the greatest shooter of all time. Reggie Miller's impact on the game cannot be overstated. Before the likes of Ray Allen and Steph came along, Reggie held the title as the NBA's all-time leader in made threes. Defensive strategies were created just to interrupt this man's shot. His dominance during an era that didn't focus much on shooting threes make his numbers even more remarkable. If he played in today's NBA, his shooting records would undoubtedly be even more unbelievable.
Reggie was no different than any other great player. You had a game plan, how you're going to slow him down, how you're going to stop him, how you keep the ball out of his hands by trying to deny him, but he'd move so well without the ball, it was hard to stop because he never stopped moving.
Next up is none other than Larry Bird. Larry could shoot the lights out of any arena, and if he had played in this era, he would have definitely topped this list. I mean, the man once scored 47 points against the Portland Trail Blazers using only his left hand. He said he was saving the right hand for the Lakers. He won the first 3 NBA three-point contests, and before the third one even started, he asked the other contestants who's coming in second.
Larry Bird, he was not a nice guy.
He talked to everybody. He was talking trash all the time, man, but fun.
And they called a timeout, and he turned around and looked at me and said, "I'm gonna score right here on you."
And he came back out and hit about 10 in a row on me, and the last one was left-handed, and he asked me if my mother was watching.
In the third spot, we got Jesus Ray Allen. Commitment to routine and attention to detail is how he passed Reggie Miller on the all-time three-point list. His pre-game warm-up, which involved taking around 300 shots, built the foundation for his game-tying 3 in the 2013 NBA Finals. For Ray, that shot was simply a matter of muscle memory, a move he had executed countless times before. His work ethic and dedication to preparation has made him a renowned shooter and a true role model for anyone who chooses to pick up the ball.
Basketball is like poetry in motion. Just coming down the court, you got a defender in your way, you take him to the left, you take him back to the right, and he's falling back, and you just Jay right in his face. And then you look at him, and then you say, what?
Few jumpers can rival the sheer beauty of number 2, Klay Thompson. With a flawless form and an incredibly quick release, Klay has solidified his place as one of the most feared shooters in the history of the NBA. If it weren't for the existence of Steph Curry, he might have been hailed as the greatest shooter of all time. His ability to catch fire and drain shot after shot is unparalleled, while Curry's versatility and range have completely reshaped the way the game is played. Together, they form an unstoppable duo that has changed the landscape of the NBA. Seriously, is there even a need to say anything at this point? This next guy has obliterated every three-point record in existence. His ability to effortlessly sink shots from mind-bending distances with pinpoint accuracy has changed the game of basketball forever. He defies all logic and statistical norms, draining shots with an absurdly high volume and a level of difficulty that keeps everybody guessing where he's going to shoot from next. And it's not just his long-range game that's inspiring to see. His finesse with floaters and mid-range shots are just as impressive. Steph Curry is a phenomenon that defies all explanation, and there's simply no debate anymore about who reigns as the greatest shooter on the planet.
Right from the moment he pulls up to the arena.
We've never seen that before.
Dele almost died guarding Steph Curry.
He's a killer.
Who do you think is the most lethal shooter in the game? Who do you think we left out? Tell us in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content just like this.